Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society. Welcome to our review show here of WWE King and Queen of the Ring from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on May 25th. I'm Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy. How's it going, bro?
Oh, dude, it's not doing too bad. Yesterday, subscribers of the channel, followers, will know that we reviewed the go-home show for King and Queen of the Ring.
What a waste of time that was.
Absolute waste of time. The review itself is not a waste of
Oh,
time.
no, that's fun.
Check that out.
Check it out.
that shit out.
Yeah.
But you know what? Right off the bat here today, bro, we're probably, you always watch the pre-show. I'm sure we're going to get into that in a second. Thoughts straight off the bat. I really enjoyed this show overall.
Well, I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you. I did too. And yes, there was the countdown show there on YouTube. The only match that was on that show, which is like an hour long, with people on the panel talking, we've complained about it so many times. But anyway, The match was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending the women's tag titles against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. So you did not watch it, right, Juicy Boy?
No.
Okay, so you're against the women's revolution.
I'm against pre-show matches that fucking.
No, I'm for them. If they're gonna have a pre-show, there better be a fucking match on there, because half the time they just spend the hour just talking shit. Anyway.
Yeah, it makes me long for the days like in the WrestleMania 28 pre-show. The main match on that pre-show was Miz versus Wade Barrett for the IC title. So they've gone from throwing away important matches on the pre-show to now just putting a match out there just to say that they had one, seemingly.
Just for the fuck of it. Anyway, look, at least Indy and Candice look like a team now. They're dressed like similar. But I think that if they're going to be a tag team, and they've been a tag team, they tag teamed here in Perth for Elimination Chamber, I think that they need an actual team name, and they need to have that cohesive unit with the name. Just me, like, I'm not a fan of a team that's this person and this person. But look, foregone conclusion right here. Jade looked fantastic. I bet Bianca and Jade have had cocktails together. I bet that they are thick as thieves. And I liked their pink outfits that they had going on. The only thing I really wanted to mention was like when Jade got the hot tag, she was like a house of fire, and she really nailed it. She nailed a sweet sit-down powerbomb on Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
The only nitpick that I'll have is Indy held Jade on the ropes, and then Candice tried to do a moonsault, or like a springboard moonsault onto her, and Jade was too close. So Indy, like the top of her head, hit Jade in the belly instead of it landing flush. So that was any fuck up, but dominant win for Jade and Bianca, and they clearly need some sort of viable competitors to go for those belts. And I'm saying right here, right now, Juicy Boy, not just because I'm Australian, but I think it's time for the Iconics to come back. There we go.
I feel like they'd probably do well in this current environment compared to before.
Yeah, without their shit being fucked up.
I mean, my friend, unless you have any snide remarks to make about the people on the panel or the inane nature of the panel, I suggest to you that we move on to the main card, my friend.
Well, I would have moved forward if you didn't go into that little bit of a speech there about it, but
I wanted to just point out...
Oh, let's move forward.
The point of that little segue was just so that I could let everyone know that I think the panels are stupid. But you're right. Go ahead.
Okay, the opening of the show, bro, okay? Watching the intro, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Juicy Boy. WWE is so far beyond AEW.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, I brought it up. I brought AEW up. So I don't care, all right? They are light years ahead. I don't care what anyone has to say. You have a pay-per-view where the two greatest of all time or the greatest wrestlers in the world are headlining and you can't even get 10,000 people in the building. Eat my ball butter. Okay. First
Wow.
matchup on the show here. World Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Liv Morgan. Jooseyboy, take it away, bro.
All right. C- for the match. Liv Morgan improved quite a lot in the ring. I like the new confidence and swagger that she's carrying herself with. Previous runs that she's had, I felt like it was more about, I don't want to say coasting off of her looks, but I feel like her looks were what created most of her presence in the ring. Now I feel like her character work is what's creating that presence, and she just happens to be great looking on top of it. Loved the energy from Liv here. Thought that this current heel persona that she's doing is working effectively. As I made note to you of before we came on the air, my friend, I have reached go away point with Becky Lynch. I have reached it. It's enough. It's enough with the theme music, with the whoa.
You were there once before, many moons ago, and now you've reached that destination again.
Yeah, it's I've had enough of it. I thought I was glad to see Becky lose the match because I mean, obviously the reason she originally lost it off of Rhea, I think that was going to be the time when Becky started getting phased, perhaps out of the title picture for a while and into something else. Again, she's earned my respect, Becky has, as a performer, but I'm saying it's got that stale factor the same way that John Cena, eventually got, or the way that Hogan gets.
It's enough already.
Yeah.
Fair enough, bro. Did you give that a rating?
C-.
Okay. You know what? This whole match, Corey Graves was a babyface commentator for some reason. He was totally against Liv, and I did not enjoy it whatsoever.
It works even less than when he tries
Yeah.
to be a heel commentator. Like, it's annoying either way, but at least you can buy him being a dickhead. You can't buy him genuinely giving a shit about the
No,
baby
he was
face.
on her ass the whole time. Oh, how dare she? Like, bro, usually you're all for it. Like, just because you're a play-by-play guy now on Smack. No, you know what? If you're play-by-play, every pay-per-view now, I want Wade Barrett. I want a heel color commentator on the pay-per-views. I don't need two babyface play-by-play guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, like, I was just gonna quickly put, yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you, bro, that I would prefer it to be Wade Barrett as well.
You
Sorry,
think
continue.
you agree with me, or you do agree with me? Are you 100% in on that?
Yeah, I'd say I'm 100%.
Okay, thank you very much. Look, Liv Morgan apparently sells the most merchandise of all the women in WWE, even ahead of Tiffy.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself this whole time, it's time to get that belt back on Liv. I like Liv as a heel. Great back and forth between the two. I really was thinking when Dominic came out, this was a very interesting point in time. And if Vince Russo was writing the show, I guarantee you Dom would have purposely been helping Liv win this match. Maybe it's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe it's to come. But this is what came through my mind, okay? I'd have him help Liv win the belt, even though she took his mommy out, Rhea Ripley. And then Rhea returns as a baby face, and Dom is with Liv now. And you've got the scorned, upset, angry mummy coming back for revenge, not only on Liv for taking her out, but also on Dominic for leaving her for the woman that took her out and the woman that is now taking the belt that she once had. I think
gotta tell you,
that would be perfect.
I would have zero interest in seeing that play out.
I would love to see that play out because the
zero.
heat that it would garner, because everyone is so mad that Dominic gets to portray Rhea's partner on television and then he gets to be with Liv. Oh,
Nah, the heat wouldn't be
Love it.
worth sitting through those annoying segments of them
It would be
bickering
worth
like
it.
children
Yeah.
backstage.
No, you're getting worked. You're getting worked by a scenario that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
Uh,
fucking,
look,
I'm a
I
mark.
really enjoyed the match. I did like the finish there. Dominic acted as if he was devastated by what he had done,
Mm,
but I still think there's going to be a moment in time where Dominic is going to be siding with Liv before Rhea returns, because that
mm.
will. Who doesn't love a woman who's scorned and comes back to get revenge? Come on. Remember when Linda McMahon was put into that trance-like state and
Yes.
she kicked Vince in the balls? That's what we want to see with
Well, I
Dominic.
think I think a ton of people, our average audience, may not remember that. I think our average audience member might have been born
Well,
a
you know
year.
what? Fuck them. I don't care. Okay,
Yeah. Am
let's
I
move.
so out of touch?
Let's move forward. Okay, Intercontinental Championship on the line in the next matchup here: Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed. Bro, when this first was about to take place, I was not really that interested.
Oh,
But these guys really went for it. They went all out. And again, after Gunther's amazing title reign, they've attempted to continue to make the Intercontinental Championship meaningful by going balls to the wall here. So props to the three guys here. I have a whole bunch of notes, and I'm not even going to really talk about any of them because I don't need to tell you what happened in the match. You can
nah,
watch the match because it's getting a California recommendation.
don't do my thing. You don't get to do recommendations.
Why not? Why?
You
Why?
stay
Why
over
is
on
that a
your
rule?
side of the screen. This is my
Why is that
side
a
of the
rule?
screen. It belongs to me.
A California recommendations.
Oh,
Check it out.
fucking shut up.
Check
Okay,
it
go
out,
ahead.
because what I have to say won't do it justice. Uh, I did love the part where Otis was getting baited by Chad Gable, who I wasn't even aware turned heel because I don't watch the weekly
Oh,
show.
I've been
But you
watching.
you know why I don't watch weekly show? Because I watched SmackDown this week with you, Juicy Boy, and it was a waste of fucking time. So that's why I don't know what's going on. I didn't know Indy Hartwell had turned heel with Candice LeRae until SmackDown 2 days ago. So fuck you. I'm not watching that shit because it's a waste of time. Anyway, again, Otis, oh, he's torn. He was torn and he went for that clothesline and he fucking laid Chad Gable out and it was excellent. Anyway, Bronson got pinned by Sammy. It was over. We knew Sammy was going to retain because we were in Saudi Arabia. But you know what? Fantastic IC title match. Juicy Boy, your turn, you little son of a bitch.
I'm actually going to be a little bit harsher on it than you.
Well,
Um, because
well, never.
I loved the actual match itself in terms of the athleticism, the all three guys staying in the mix. I like the fact that seemingly for the first time in about 25 years, bro, they actually had a triple threat and all three guys stayed involved and they were on the outside, they were in the ring, and the announcers just said there's no count out till DQ. Normally, the only time you see that kind of thing take place in a triple threat match is in a video game. When they do them in real life, typically it's two people are involved, one guy rolls out, you
One's on the
know,
outside. It's so boring.
and they just keep the focus on in the ring. But now it looks like they've finally started to embrace the fact that, yeah, there's no DQ or countouts because there's always a third person to break up the pin.
Okay, so you're
So
positive already. So
I thought they
when
made
does
up.
it turn
I'm
into you
getting
being
to it.
negative?
I'm getting to it.
Here
I'm
we
getting
go.
to it. So I was with this really right up until the end, bro. I expected Sammy to win like you did. I know what they've been doing with this storyline with Chad Gable turning into an asshole, and like the past 2 or 3 weeks in a row, he's just smacked the shit out of Otis, like really hard. And there's no reason why Otis can't just break him in half. Um, so my first little problem came with this was the exact same angle they did on Raw last week. It was again, Gable starts going like, "What's the matter with you?" Like, getting in his face and all this shit. And Otis again backs down. He's not ready to snap yet. And this time he ended up accidentally nailing Chad Gable, which led to the finish. I did not like that, first of all, because I feel like I've already seen it for the last 2 weeks on Raw. I don't necessarily expect Otis to snap just yet, but I also don't think that that should have been included here because it felt like this incredible match was going on, and then all of a sudden everything just grinds to a halt so that this little bit with Chad Gable and Otis can take place on the outside. But that wasn't my biggest problem with the match. My biggest problem with the match was that Gable gets taken out with the clothesline. The second that happened, the over the ring and Braun making his way up to his feet by the ropes. And immediately I just knew, all right, it's going to be a haluva kick and a pin. And that is just a flat finish. It's a flat finish. I was bored by it. If you're going to put a match on like this that's got a predictable winner, then you need a bit more of an exciting finish. Like, great, they did a great job of not making Bronson Reed feel like the odd one out here, but he still looked like the patsy taking the pin at the end of that. And, you know, that's a nitpicky thing to say, but it really did detract from the experience somewhat. I can only give it an A-, man, as a result of that finish detracting me so much.
Oh no, an A-, God forbid.
I know, man. That's as high as I can go. I can't go anymore because the finish disappointed me.
Oh dear, what a shame. Next matchup, Juicy Boy, Lyra Valkyria and Nia Jax in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Take it away, Juicy Boy.
Well, I'm pretty sure I went first last time, but all right.
No, you just ended your thoughts. How do you not remember that you just ended your thoughts in the first match?
Oh, I don't know, man. Too many combs. Anyway, we got to the Queen of the Ring final here. It was Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyrie. This was probably only the second or third time that. Shut up. This is probably the second or third time I've ever seen.
I want you to say her name correctly,
bro. Be quiet. I'm trying to keep track of my thoughts.
Say her surname correctly.
I'm trying to keep track of my thoughts.
Say her surname correctly first.
I don't care what her surname is. Okay. So
very disrespectful.
This match is happening. I'm not sure what to expect out of it. I don't think that many people expected Nia Jax to be on the losing end of this match. I think I think that was somewhat of a foregone conclusion. But I found myself really impressed by Lyra. I like the. Well, I'm not going to say it like that. That sounds stupid.
It's Lyra Valkyria.
Well, then
it's not Taya Valkyrie. It's Lyra Valkyria.
Okay. Anyway, so I thought that
Nia
she did
Jax,
good. I thought that she. I don't care. I thought that she did good in this match, and I thought Nia Jax once again.
Nia.
More of an extension from what we saw yesterday. I mean, she looked in charge. She looked in control. She looked dominant in this match.
She looked large, did she? Okay. Cancelled.
I would like to. I mean, we're probably going to get to it in the mean tweets, but I would like to say that if anyone thinks that there was a problem with Nia kneeling to receive her crown, as in she was kneeling before a man, like I saw some people.
Like she's going to suck his dick, is it? Is that what people were worried about? No, she was being given a crown, like she was being knighted.
The reason why she was down on one knee is because she is being bestowed an honor. She is being bestowed a position of royalty.
Also, she's taller than Triple H, so
yeah. So I gave this match a C+. This might be my favorite Nia Jax match that I've seen.
You corrected yourself
so far. I think I really just think she's starting to hit that stride, you know. Something's clicked in her mind where it's working now, and I'm enjoying it.
It's like Mark Henry. For years, Mark Henry was sometimes good, sometimes Then all of a sudden, he just fucking got it, and he was nailing it every single time he went out there. Nia Jax, as far as I'm concerned, is doing that right now, and I'm glad that she won the Queen of the Ring. Lyra Valkyria has done a great job as a debutante on the main roster, because I'm an NXT guy and I'm proud of my NXT people. So I was happy to see her, rise to the occasion. She did a good job here in this David versus Goliath style battle, because in NXT there was no ladies of the height and size differentiation that Lyra had there at NXT, none at all. So seeing her wrestle somebody who was of a different style and size was interesting, and I enjoyed it. The finish, though, I laughed. because she was trying so hard for that power bomb out of the corner. And then the Annihilator. Boom, bro. Boom.
Mm.
Couldn't have hit more hard. I loved it. Very good stuff. After this, Becky Lynch is storming around backstage all mad.
Yeah.
She's still mad, even though her match happened like, I don't know, 45 minutes prior. She's still angry. And she wants her rematch on Monday on Raw.
So enough already. That's all I'll say to that. It's enough already.
Just lose the rematch and just bugger off. All right.
Just don't even do the rematch. Just go to a different program. Do something else.
Just go. Don't go to NXT. Don't go to Oh, geez, I don't know where to go. I don't know. Maybe go to AEW because.
Well, no, we don't want her to drop off the face of the earth. We just want her to take a break for a while.
That was a slam right there here on the Slam Society. Okay, let's move forward, bro. Coming up next, the real main event of the evening, as far as most people are concerned, Gunther and Randy Orton for the finals of the Men's King of the Ring, bro.
Brother, let's take a quick moment at this interval to acknowledge how easy these WWE PLEs go down. I mean, it feels like we're at this point tomorrow in the AEW review, we'll probably be still talking about the second match on
we've only got 2 matches left. We've only got 2 matches left to talk about. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you wonder why WWE is going through a hot streak. It's because I was able to watch this pay-per-view and then still had time to see my family and spend time with my grandma and all these other things that I had planned.
Yeah.
I was able to easily do all of those things because King of the Ring didn't take 5 hours.
I went to a bottomless brunch earlier today, and then I had friends over for some drinks, and then I watched the pay-per-view, and it's not even 9 p.m. and we're doing the review. Yeah. And I know that you said beforehand, Juicy Boy, that you wanted to, before we got to Gunther and Randy, you wanted to take a quick moment. Well, if Riddle was here, he'd want to take a quick bromant. I fucking got you again.
You know what?
I got you again with that. Yes!
Hearing that joke makes me want to have another seizure and go back into another comment. Okay?
That's all right. You'll feel that tomorrow when we watch Double or Nothing. So anyway, Gunther and Randy Orton, King of the Ring finals. It's my turn to go first, you little fuck. Yeah. So I thought to myself, Juicy Boy, oh, this will be interesting. This is how I felt when Gunther stepped in the ring with Sheamus and Gunther stepped in the ring with Drew, and then both Drew and Sheamus, and now we're getting to another echelon here, bro. We're going to Randy fucking Orton. And I know going into this that Randy Orton hates knife-edge chops, so I was interested to see how he would react to the guy who gives the biggest ones of all time. Not going to talk too much about the match and the things that happened in the match, except every time Randy went for the RKO, all those fans lost their shit. Great reactions for that. Liked Gunther picking him apart. It was a tremendous fight. I liked when Randy had hit the RKO and was going to go for a pin, but Gunther did that desperation roll to the outside. He desperately, at the last, he just quickly rolled with the last little bit of energy he had in his system. I used to do that when I wrestled.
You've been throwing that one around a lot lately.
Yeah, no, you get hit with a finisher. They're about to crawl over and get the pin, and then you just, the last bit of energy, and you get to the ropes.
Yeah, and you wish
the guy's so upset about it.
You wish. Keep
At least
going.
I was in the business, Juicy Boy. Okay, you wouldn't.
Get out of the business.
Anyway, look, okay. There's one glaring problem with this fantastic match between these two, and I'm sorry.
Really?
It's the pin. Did you not see when Gunther pinned? His shoulder was up the whole time.
I thought that they deliberately did that and they were ignoring it because tomorrow Randy Orton's... Well, I pretty much figured Randy Orton's going to show up tomorrow and be like, "No, that was bullshit."
Don't tell me they're going to do. No, there's no way that. I think that Randy didn't realize that his shoulder. I think that it was hurting and he lifted his shoulder up because it was hurting. That's my thoughts.
But when they replayed it, both angles showed that the shoulder was clearly up. And then
the first time they showed the replay, they showed the back side of it, and it was clear that when they showed the back side of it, that he was moving up. So Corey Graves had to say something. Oh, I'm going to have to see another angle from that. I watched this and it's like, okay, I could tell you right now, Randy Orton did not mean to have his shoulder up. I think he was in pain from something and he had to move his shoulder that way so it didn't hurt. I think it was a natural bodily movement from being in pain from something, because maybe the crucifix was a little too tight. Who knows? But that's just my assumption from somebody who was once in the business. And
If it was too
used
well,
to wrestle
since you've
quite
been in the
often.
business and you've learnt a
There we
crucifix
go.
before, you would know that if it had been in too tight, his shoulder couldn't have been up because it would have been nailed to the mat. Like
No.
it was
Too tight,
obviously.
so tight that it hurt, because Randy has a history of shoulder problems. So
You think Gunter's thick thighs were that menacing that
I
Orton
think
was
maybe
like,
he was in the moment so much that maybe it was hurting Randy, because Gunter was like, I'm about to win the King of the Ring. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. So
By
I
the way,
enjoy.
did you notice Gunter did not put the crown on his head?
Yeah,
I reckon the crown was too big for his head, and he knew it. And he knew if he put it on, it'll go.
I think he might also be smart enough to know that it's a bit of a meme, a bit of a cliche to
No,
win the
okay,
tournament,
that's
and
bullshit. Okay,
because for
that's
so
a bullshit excuse.
well, because for so many years, it's like we were talking about when we reviewed the '93 edition, and it's like all of a sudden the wrestler that may not be regal in any way, all
Dude,
of a sudden wants to wear the
those
crown.
old crowns were fucking ugly as fuck. Let's be honest. They were all so ugly. Brett's crown, Owen's crown, all those crowns were ugly as shit. Those crowns that were there tonight, absolutely gorgeous. And in 10 years' time, on Most Wanted Treasures, they'll be looking for Nia Jax's crown.
Yeah, so is that all your
Go,
thoughts on
go
the
for it.
match?
Go.
Oh,
Your
okay.
turn. Go.
Yeah, so this match is getting a Juicy Boy recommendation. Go out of your way
Did
to
you
check it
point? Did
out.
you do the point?
I did the. Well, you're supposed to be looking, you
I
fuckhead.
wasn't looking. I was looking at my phone.
Dumb cunt. All right, so
How rude.
no, so as California said, this was what you want out of a King of the Ring final. This was a match that started slowly. It had a feeling out process. Each opponent picked a body part. Orton's back got targeted by Gunter after he missed that first RKO, and his knee was later targeted as well. Um, it's interesting because this match was exactly what I'd hoped it to be when I thought about Gunter and Randy Orton having a match. And it's like with other first time matchups of Gunter's that we've reviewed on this show before, bro. I find myself already wanting to see Gunter and Randy Orton work again.
Me too.
Because it's going to then be okay, we've seen them do the standard build in a match. What's going to happen when they already have some history between them? And then, I was talking to some people online, or there was a thread going on that I was commenting on regarding the finish to this match and the shoulder and everything. And everyone was agreeing that it was most likely a botch or a mistake, but there was disagreement about how the company is going to approach it. So some people were thinking like, are they going to just ignore it? Is it going to be brought up again tomorrow night? Is somebody, I think that the nature of the way that it finished is you've got a built-in thing there. You've got the commentator saying that the King of the Ring was the last thing Randy Orton hasn't really ticked off the list. You had them saying earlier in the match that if Randy Orton wins the King of the Ring and gets his title shot at SummerSlam, he'll be one step closer to tying up John Cena and Ric Flair's world title records. Obviously, John Cena, his greatest rival, and Ric Flair, a mentor of his from the past. So to me, it feels like whether this finish was a botch or not, you have a built-in rematch right there based on the way this finished. It makes sense that Orton would be pissed off that he didn't win this because it's the one thing that he's never been able to do. And they also made it clear that he's still hungry for championships as well. So I'm going to give the match itself an A plus. I do think the finish really probably caught everybody off guard, and it'll be yeah, interesting to see how that gets followed up on. But to me, this was match of the night. This is also another uh, contender for match of the year for me.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
In a different way from the other contenders. Once again, there are many different ways to have a match of that caliber, and I think that Randy Orton and Gunter demonstrated that with a real technical, psychology focused approach to this tournament for
I would
me.
take about 4 or 5 more matches between those two, I think. Very good.
Yeah, you just want to see him like actually work a feud so
Yeah,
that
let's
you
just see what happens, See what they can come up with. Anyway, let's start to get the main event of the evening here. Juicy Boy Cody Rhodes defending the world undisputed whatever the fuck championship
it's the WWE Undisputed title.
against Logan Paul. Foregone conclusion, but that's all
Yeah,
right.
it
Juicy
was.
Boy, take it away.
All right, I'm giving this match, excuse me.
You're excused.
I'm giving this match a B minus. Some people may think that's actually a little bit low, especially since fans of this channel will know that I generally like to round up on my ratings. If I can give something a little bit of a higher rating,
Fans of this channel
well,
don't give a fuck about that. They don't know that. That's not in their psyche. That's not in their mind. Oh yeah, no, that's
well,
how
I,
Juicy Boy's shit works. No, they don't. They don't. No one knows how your shit works. No one knows. No one understands your rating system. Okay, it's worse than Meltzer's.
So, well, let's not say things we can't take back, man. So the reason I didn't rate it a little bit higher, perhaps in the A tier, was because of that factor that you said, the FGC factor, the foregone conclusion. Um, Again, expected
FGC.
Cody to win. Yeah, so annoying
I know
in
it annoys Luke
practice.
so much that you call it an FGC.
So anyway,
Foregone is one word. Why does? Okay, keep going.
so the first thing that needs the first thing that needs to be acknowledged is once again Logan Paul comes out and just puts on an athletic clinic. I mean, we say it every time he has a match. Separate from the fact that he already was a major name who was brought into the WWE. If he was exactly the same person physically, but you'd never heard of him before he came to WWE, he would still be considered an almost prodigal talent. I think that a lot of people, because there's a lot of things to dislike about Logan Paul in terms of the way that he does business. Different people disagree with him. Some people, it's probably jealousy.
Oh, it's
Other
definitely
people,
jealousy.
other people may have more legitimate reasons not to like him. But as far as the wrestling is concerned, he is like a prodigal talent. He just seems to have the knack for it,
He
bro.
gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. The buckshot lariat again just shouldn't be Adam Page's finish because I know I'm taking a cheap shot at the other company, but let's face it, Adam Page has never done his own finisher once as well as Logan Paul can do Adam Page's finisher. It's just a fact. It's just
I bet it pisses
so.
Pangman off so much.
But no, he wouldn't care. He's too up himself, bro. He'd be like, "Oh, fuck that social media guy. I used to be a teacher and I was working indies and all this shit. Like fuck him.
Boring.
Okay, I say fuck him. Like what's so? Yeah, it was an athletic showcase. There was some really nice callbacks in this match. So the match really started getting interesting for me when Logan throws Cody to the outside, and he starts looking over at Michael Cole, and he's like, "Look, Michael, look, I don't need it. I don't need the brass knucks. I'm beating the shit out of him without him." Basically, sort of telling Michael to stick it because he's right about not needing the brass knucks. Michael Cole, of course, goes, "Well, I always knew you didn't need them. That's the whole point, you dingus," kind of thing, as Logan is in control of the match. Later on in the match, you get the spot that we're all waiting for, the catalyst to what we know is going to lead to the finish of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul goes to his little little entourage corner that's always set up in that one spot where the hydration station normally is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so he goes over, he calls for another bottle of Prime. Uh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That was a little bit later. Sorry. The first time he
Get
goes
it
over
together.
to,
Fuck me.
I'm sorry, I kind of getting these two bits blurred together because I was really invested at that
Oh, of
point.
course. Yeah,
So
that's the reason. Yeah.
So, so he mouths off to Cole about, look how good I am. Then he starts to get in trouble in the match, and he goes outside and he heads towards that hydration station area where his entourage is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, his entourage ends up getting in Cody's face. One of the little guys in the entourage shoves Cody, who immediately just whoops him. And of course, the first thing you do is almost laugh and go, why would you think that that would be a good thing to do? But then as that happens, the camera is focusing in the foreground on Cody dealing with this douchebag. In the background, that's where you see that Logan actually has the brass knucks have been handed to him. He puts them on, and then you see him take this huge run up, nails Cody in the gut
Wham.
with the knucks, Um, amazing.
And
That
that, yep. Yeah, keep
that
going. Yep.
I was just gonna say that redeemed the angle that they did on SmackDown. I still think the way they did that angle with checking for the objects was childish, but at least they paid it off in a significant way. Um,
Yeah, he brought 3 pairs with him.
yeah, here in this match. So enjoyed the little segment where he got in Michael Cole's face and Corey actually stood up for Michael Cole. That's the first time that Corey as a character has actually done anything cool because obviously, Cole would have been defenseless in kayfabe against Logan Paul. Um, Finish was the typical triple crossroads, which again let the wind out of my sails a little bit. If I don't necessarily need to be surprised by the result, but I also don't want the exact same finish that we seem to be getting for the past several Cody Rhodes pay-per-view
Yeah,
matches,
very much. Very much.
which is at some point Cody has the big comeback, the big second wind. Something happens and he's able to get that crossroad grip and he hits the first one and then he just never lets it go. And after about 3 or 4 of them, he gets the pin. Um, so I'd say that uh, took the level of the match rating down just a notch for me. And I also have to say this: I don't know what you're going to think when you do your review and of the main, but I think that we're starting to get to the point where Logan Paul can't afford any more of these losses. Even though he's been winning a lot of matches in between these big appearances, such as the match against Roman at the Saudi show a couple of years ago, and the Cody match here, he still lost this match, and so they want to use him as this big star. They want to sort of use him as their sort of major drawing heel. They need to stop having him lose these matches. It's
No
one,
more Logan Paul world title shots because he's never
yeah,
winning the belt. So let's just
that's right.
stop.
If they
Okay.
if they want to do another match of this magnitude with him in it again, he needs to win the match. It's getting to that point where it's a bit of a booking corner, in my opinion.
Well, I get you. Look, I haven't got much to say about the main event. It was very good, but knowing the result ahead of time always hurts things. But is Logan Paul doing the frog splash through the announce table on the outside, like Shane McMahon having to do the coast to coast? Does that
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
getting a
happen
little.
every?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that comedian guy at the end, that was stupid too.
Whatever. Look, I thought it was a good show. Main event was, it did what it needed to do.
Mm.
But Juicy Boy, your rating out of 10 for King and Queen of the Ring.
I am going to give King and Queen of the Ring 2024 an 8 out of 10.
Wow, that's a pretty good rating.
It was a pretty good show.
I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10, just above a good show. a great, almost a great show as far as I'm
Was
concerned.
pretty good.
Pretty,
Good.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right, bro. We've reviewed the show. Now
Mm,
it's time to respond to some
yeah.
tweets. And
It's
you know
time
what?
to it's time to get to the good part, the
You
fun
collected
part.
these tweets for me. I've not collected any. We're going just by what you collected, okay? And I read the first tweet whilst you're in the middle of your Cody Rhodes Logan Paul review, and I felt blood rush to my face from anger. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Air Gold underscore. We know Air Gold. Air Gold is almost as bad as the real one. WWE is committing highway robbery for taking $50 million from the Saudi government for this card, dead, like skull emoji, hashtag WWE King and Queen. And it's a picture of all the matches on the card, all 6 of them, including the match on the pre-show. Juicy Boy, what have you got to say first and foremost?
Oh, okay. How is it highway robbery for WWE to be paid $50 million out of a $450 million deal that was signed 5 years ago, um, to put on a world-class premium live event with the King of the Ring tournament, a WWE title match, a women's title match.
But what's wrong with the card?
Yeah. So first of all, it's not highway robbery because you can't rob the Saudi government, who a lot of their wealth, first of all, comes from plundering other land and countries for their oil. Second of all, they have so much wealth that $50 million to the Saudi government and their sports washing initiative is the equivalent to $50,000 for,
Means
like,
nothing.
it's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. So I don't know what you're trying to say there. Are you trying to say that the WWE robbed Saudi Arabia? Because I hardly see how you can rob an oppressive regime like the Saudi Arabian government. And I certainly think that it's insulting for you to sit there and say that when clearly all these people that went into that Superdome had a ball. I saw men, women, and children enjoying that show. I saw
Yep.
people laughing. I saw people cheering. So who are you to sit there and say that they shouldn't be going and doing those shows? You know?
Well, you know who he is. He's an AEW fan.
Yeah, I don't even feel like I need to make
He's
a
an
funny.
AEW fan. That's
Yeah.
why this is the biggest turnoff about AEW with fans like this who shoehorn and force
Yeah.
something negative about this. Okay, who wouldn't want to see Randy versus Gunter for the first time ever? Ever?
Just hang on.
Who?
You didn't introduce who it is and stuff, man. Slow down.
It's
Let
their
let
gold, right? Who wouldn't want to see Randy and Gunter? I would. That's a pretty good match to me. Lyra Valkyria, a new star against a heel that is over. I think, Lyra and Nia Jax had a better match than what Mercedes and Willow are going to have. Being
Yeah.
honest, because the last few Willow performances I've seen have been a little bit botchy. Becky versus Liv Morgan. Who would want to see that match? There's 2 pretty big stars there. Liv Morgan's highest merch seller in WWE for the women. Even though me and Juicy Boy are pretty over Becky Lynch right now, they had a pretty good match. The IC title match was fantastic. Well, title match, yeah, we knew who was going to win, but guess what? We know who's going to win every fucking match in AEW. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And the women's tag team title match, yeah, well, you need Bianca and Jade on the show. So why is this highway robbery, you fucking douchebag?
It's just trying to invent a narrative where there isn't one. It was
Yeah.
such an annoying tweet,
No,
bro.
and I bet he's got a small cock. Okay, let's move forward.
Like normally when we read our mean tweets, bro, like we are right now, I hope to come up with something witty or something kind of amusing to say about it. But some of these tweets are so annoying that I just don't have anything amusing to say about it.
Dav at Davborough123. Streets saying streets. What streets? What
So he's
streets?
basically
Well,
okay.
you from
So we'll
what the
get to it.
streets are
Just
telling us.
read the rest of the tweet, then we'll get.
Streets saying even Gunter couldn't carry Randy to a good one-on-one match. The rest hold merchant strikes again. Shut up, you
Okay.
cunt.
Okay. Where do we even begin with this? Okay.
Stupid. It's a
So
good
he
match.
first of all he says streets are saying even Gunter couldn't carry Randy Orton to a good match. So let's unpack that first sentence for a minute there, Carl. Let's stop here for a second and unpack that. So first he says streets are saying, as if he's referencing a group of people or many different people around him are saying that not even Gunter is going to be able to get a good match out of Randy Orton. So there's two or three things there right in that first sentence. First thing, he says streets, but he never actually says who is saying this. And that's because there are no people out there saying that Randy Orton won't even be able to have a good match with Gunter. No one except for him when he wrote that tweet has ever said that. And then he says even Gunter couldn't get a good match out of Randy Orton. So he's also making the false implication that people aren't entertained by Randy Orton's matches, which is not true. He did have a reputation at one point for being a little bit boring and slow. That's not now.
So long ago.
Yeah. So Chinlock King strikes again.
I
Yeah,
don't remember that.
I would rather watch him do a chin lock than watch Jack Perry do anything. So I'll just say that.
At least his chin locks look like they're real.
At
I don't
least, like,
remember even because he did that shit when he was a heel. He's a baby face now. He's not doing chin
hey,
locks.
at least the opponents in WWE actually have chins for him to grab onto.
Owned. Owned. All right, let's move forward. What an idiot. Okay. OG Pizza Dog at Pizza Dog. Pizza Dog at OG Pizza Dog. Okay. I don't want to hear about match structure ever again because why did Cody lay there the entire time while nothing was happening?
Because he'd been punched in the stomach with brass knuckles after having his ribs kicked the shit out of for the entire match.
What are you, a fucking idiot, Pizza Dog? I mean, your name's Pizza Dog, so obviously you already are an idiot. He got hit in the gut. Okay, you take a punch to the gut with brass knucks,
Yeah.
bro. You
Yeah,
take it.
yeah. See that guy sat at home and he's never been in a real fight. He's never even done like a fitness boxing class. You know, like where you do a little boxing
Yeah, he's the
sparring and
Pizza
stuff.
Dog, bro. Of course he
Yeah,
hasn't.
he's never even done that because anyone that has ever been punched in the stomach will be able to tell you that it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
And
and if you get hit with brass knucks, guess what? They can punch as hard as they can because the knucks are protecting their fucking hand.
that's right.
So
So
they can.
don't just oh my god.
I don't want to hear about match. You don't know anything, cunt.
Yeah,
You're a
you don't.
fat fuck who does nothing. You're a pizza dog. You're a fat fuck
Yeah,
that doesn't know anything about being athletic. You don't know what it's like being punched in the gut. Shut the fuck up. Match
yeah,
structure, like you know shit, like you've been in the
yeah.
business. You don't know shit, cunt.
What do you mean you don't want to hear about it? Who's lining
Who's
up to
who are you
who
hearing it from?
who's lining up to fucking talk to you, loser? Like, have you got
Oh,
like do you wake up every morning, Pizza Dog, to like there's a huge number, like the number 16 over his Twitter inbox. Like that many people have been asking what he thinks and offering their opinion. No one's talking to you about match structure,
no.
and no one wants to hear what you think
No, you
about
don't
it.
know shit. I bet your dick smells like wee. Okay, let's move forward. Grumpy Omega at Lincoln 927. I believe Grumpy Omega's from Brazil.
Mm.
I'm just saying, dot, dot, dot. If Tony Khan brought in some Instagram NFT scammer, made him TNT champion, and gave him 2 world title pay-per-view main event matches, we'd never hear the end of it.
Mm. 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 Well, it's this
Fuck
one
me.
is it's an interesting thing, this tweet here, because the person who sent it is trying to set up a situation to try to call out WWE fans to be hypocrites. Now, it's true that if Tony Khan brought Logan Paul into AEW and did what WWE has done with him over in AEW, people would be up in arms about it. I have to say he's actually correct about that. And you know why? Because over in AEW, they don't have a training staff. They don't have a performance center. They don't have worldwide market penetration of over 50 years. It is apples and oranges. Bringing Logan Paul in and having Shawn Michaels and others train him for his matches when he already has tens of millions of followers is not the same as fucking putting Junior Dos Santos out there in an 8-man street fight, clearly without fucking teaching him a fucking thing, you know, or putting Anthony Gogo, or the way they put Jade Cargill into all those matches when she didn't know shit from apple butter, as Jim Cornette would say. She didn't really know that much what she was doing. And that's another thing. I didn't mention it because I didn't watch the pre-show, but I might as well say it now. Jade Cargill, you're correct in the fact that she does the same moves since she's been to WWE, but you're wrong if you say that she hasn't learned a ton since coming to WWE, because she does the same stuff, but she does it a lot better and at the right times in WWE. So tweets like this, it's just ridiculous. Yes, it would probably be given a negative reception if Tony Khan did it, because Tony Khan's previous track record leads us to not have any confidence that such a project would be handled well.
And by the way, that's not all he is. He's not just an NFT. Like, why would they're bringing in an NFT scammer, and that's all he is. He's like, his brother is extremely huge on social media and all that bullshit. And you know what? I don't like that stuff at all. But clearly they are popular for a reason. They got there for a reason. Maybe they've done some stupid shit in their life, but they are well known and they're popular. Who gives a shit? The guy, you watch him in the ring, he delivers.
Yeah,
why else does anything matter?
That's the thing. He's only saying it because he knows that if Tony Khan did the same thing, everyone would rightly call it out.
Yeah,
as
because
a publicity
Tony would fuck
ploy.
it up, because Tony fucks everything up.
And because it would be a desperate ploy if he did.
Let's move forward, okay? Because the next one's we already talked about it. It's already pissing me off. Air Gold again. Why is Queen Nia bending the knee to Triple H? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, it's just why is she? Because she's being coronated with a fucking crown and she's taller than him, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah, go watch Queen Elizabeth II get coronated with the crown in 1952. And you'll see her kneel down to receive the crown.
And you know what else?
Like that.
Have you seen Nia Jax's hair?
Yes.
Did you see how Triple H put the crown on her head? Because he knew that he would have to go to try and make sure it stayed on, because when you have hair like that and you try and put something on someone's head that has hair like that, it won't fucking spring off and fall on the ground, you fucking idiot. Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah,
how fucking stupid you have to be to not even notice that?
All these fucking dipshits on Twitter, bro, they're just looking for a reason to be upset. They're looking for a reason to be pissed off. They're looking for absolutely anything that they can.
So hard.
Yeah, they're trying to latch onto something to vilify Triple H. The fact of the matter is, we've been calling it out when we haven't been happy with what WWE is doing, but most of the time lately, we have been.
Right. Air Gold fucking killing me right now because I've just seen the next one.
Oh, it's the next one.
The final one. AEW never put Jade Cargill on the pre-show in capital letters. Like, can someone please explain to me why Jade and Bianca as champions are being relegated to the pre-show on a PLE with only 5 matches? Well, fuckhead, have you not noticed for the last fucking couple of years, most of their fucking pay-per-views or PLEs have 5 matches, you dumb cunt? Yeah. Have you not noticed that? Have you not fucking noticed that? Have you not noticed that there was not one men's tag team title match on the show at all?
Yeah, even though they have 2 tag team titles.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. How do you not
fucking understand it, you stupid fucking cunt?
Stop saying as well, Air Gold, 5-match card as if it's a negative. It's not a negative. They went from doing 10 matches where the lengths would be variable to now they only do 5, and you can expect a decent length out of all of them without them overstaying their welcome, because it's only 5. So it's generally impossible for a show to go for 5.5 hours.
And we know that they plod along a little bit between the matches with
That's right.
Bullshit. And look, I don't like that stuff. I think most of their PLEs could have 7 matches. I don't need 13 fucking matches.
Yes.
But I think
Yeah,
7 might be
yeah.
all right,
So you
but
criticize him
this
for
is what
having
it
the five.
is.
You criticize him for having the five, and then you say, why can't the women's world tag team champions have been on it? Well, which match would you have taken off then to put on the pre-show? Would you have taken off Nia versus Lyra? Would you have taken that match off? Because you can't. That's the Queen of the Ring final. Would you have taken Liv versus Becky off on and put it on the pre-show? Then you'd be bitching that the women's world title got put on the pre-show. Should they have put Randy Orton versus Gunther on the pre-show? Oh no, because you can't have the King of the Ring. So you see, the only match out of any of these 6 matches, my friend, that had any place on the pre-show was that match, and it was purposely made just to include those women on the show for the live audience, primarily.
How about
Because
every fucking AEW pay-per-view, one of the women's matches is put on the fucking pre-show? Okay, you want to put this match on the main show? Cool. I would like to condense all the fucking bullshit and the stuff in between the matches and put all 6 matches on the show. But again, if you still have a fucking countdown and a pre-show, I want a match on that fucking thing. So there's a fucking reason to watch it instead of watching people standing at a fucking desk talking about fake wrestling for an hour like you do in your AEW pay-per-views. Plus you have 3 matches. Good for you. But WWE, if they're going to have a countdown show, there's got to be a match on there. There has to be a match on there.
yeah,
You want this tag match on the main show? There still needs to be a match on the fucking countdown, dickhead.
yeah, and you know what? Tomorrow we're going to be doing our review for the AEW pay-per-view. I believe it's Double or Nothing. And I'm going to remember this tweet because I know that Air Gold's going to be tweeting copiously tomorrow while he watches the AEW event. He or she, who am I kidding? It's a dude.
Shit.
So I bet you there is going to be over 10 matches on that show, and I can almost bet it is going to be a slog for me to get through. So you tweet out things like this when we've just sat here and we've had a great time watching this show and we've just given it a decent rating. And tomorrow, the show put on by your favorite company has an uphill battle. And you're sitting there denying reality. You're sitting there tweeting stuff like this, acting as though everyone is just hanging out for Double or Nothing. Like this weekend is about Double or Nothing and people aren't even thinking about King of the Ring. I assure you, like I went on Reddit the other day and I saw a post on there on unpopular opinion. And the unpopular opinion was that the person didn't understand what the appeal of pro wrestling could be because they don't like it. But that's not why I'm bringing this up, Carl. The reason I'm bringing it up is because they didn't say, I can't understand how anyone could be into professional wrestling. They said, I can't understand how anyone could be into WWE wrestling. And then they went on to say about how they don't get the hype behind WWE wrestling. Now, the point of that is to say is that people that don't know what professional wrestling is, don't like it, think that it's stupid, they know what the WWE is. That's what they associate with pro wrestling. That's all you need to know. Stop tweeting this stupid shit. Stop acting like AEW is going to put on this amazing show tomorrow. Because at the moment, I got to tell you, it's looking rocky. There's a lot of matches on there, but there's also a lot of matches that have the potential to go really, really badly, especially that Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the Arena.
Including the pre-show, there's 12 matches.
12 matches. There you
12
go.
matches. And one of the matches on the pre-show is one of the women's matches. So fuck you, Air Gold.
Yeah.
All right, the sail into the sunset. I've had enough.
Yes, me too. All right. So that was King of the Ring. We'll be back right here tomorrow with your AEW Double or Nothing review. Subscribe, comment, like, follow us. Let us know what you
Take your
thought of
pants
King
off.
of the Ring.
Everything.
Let us know what you want to see us cover here on the channel.
Yeah,
that has been your King and Queen Ring of the Ring review. I have been Juicy Boy alongside Karlifornia, and we will see you down the road. Get fucked there, Gold.